Solana is on the move today in the markets as it flips BNB, and also we'll take a look at what this might mean for the rest of the crypto market and has Solana become the altcoin to get. We'll break it all down for you guys. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. Let me get over into it today. I do want to thank our sponsor, and that is iTrust Capital. If you're looking at long-term holding of your crypto and you want to do it in a tax advantage way, in other words, pay no tax while you have it in IRA, you can do that over on iTrust Capital. You will be able to join over 9 billion in transactions and 200,000 accounts out there in what I think is one of the most popular and most effective crypto IRAs on the market. Check it out. Use our link down below, iTrust Capital. Get a $100 funding reward if you decide to go that direction. Let's go to a couple of topics right here. Coming in from CoinGecko, latest Sol overtakes BNB to become the fourth largest crypto by market cap as it reclaims the $190 level today, which is fantastic. Solana definitely moving aggressively right now in the markets. There's a handful of reasons for this, and I think as we get into some of the topics today, you guys will get a good example. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the channel right now, maybe you're brand new to crypto and you're thinking, hey, Solana, what is this? Make sure and subscribe right now. We'll give you all the tech on blockchain, all sorts of investment strategies and concepts that we're looking at, and also the macro side of it. So just click the subscription link down below. Let's go to a couple of topics here. Pump.Fund flips ETH in a 24-hour revenue gen. This is coming over from DeFi Llama. And I think this is one that you kind of have to consider with what we'll see in terms of what is the top performing asset out there, whether it's Ethereum, Solana, others. If you look at some of the transactions right here just on Ethereum, these are the monthly transaction fees in comparison. Now remember, as ETH continues to try to drive down price or cost, then a lot of these transactions get shifted over to these L2s. But Solana right now, on the move right now in terms of making a lot of monthly transaction fees. And remember that these transaction fees are so low. So this means massive growth on the network itself. Good for Solana and all those holding it right there. So you look at the DEX volume too. Solana surpassed the combined 24-hour DEX volume right now of ETH Base and Binance combined. So you're looking at 1.9 billion on Solana right now. This is significant because it does mean that we've got a lot of activity on the chain right now, but I think the opportunity again goes back into all the projects. So think of all the projects that are tied into Solana, many of which we talk about here on the show quite a bit. There's a lot of innovative tech that is connected to this, which is why I think you're seeing what you're seeing right now. All right, so one thing you have to look at right here is the number of active addresses right there over the last 24 hours, 1.17 million. If you compare this right now to Ethereum active addresses over the last 24, 362K. So just think about that, 362K versus the 1 point. That's, what is that, 3 times, a little over 3 times what we're seeing on Ethereum, which is really one of the largest chains out there in terms of security. So pretty good moves here on Solana for sure. And of course, transactions is the question mark. If that's the case, but we're still not seeing massive movements here in terms of growth, it just seems to get up to that level and it just maintains. If you look back really kind of the beginning of June, or excuse me, July, around 42 million in transactions. It peaked a little bit around 45, and then right there, it's cracking out at around 40 million transactions as of July 27th. So that's something to kind of consider when you kind of consider where Sol is going, because obviously transactions are kind of the lifeblood of any chain out there. A couple other points I want to hit on right here. Crypto's next wave of smart money. Couple points within this. Which types? Let me kind of bring this up. Which types of cryptocurrency is your firm allocated to currently? And this is looking at what the firms own. You'll notice that Bitcoin ETH kind of leading the way, but look where our Solana is, number 3, holding that position. And if you look further in the report, we've got some interesting points here, and that is, what features would you most want from a TradFi custodian beyond the custody of top coins like Bitcoin ETH? And what they're looking for is liquidity providers, prime brokerage services, and then lending and borrow. So that in itself starts to lean a little bit more to what's happening within the Solana ecosystem. All right, so one of the things you got to watch for is Apollo. This is going to be able to unleash liquidity into the Solana blockchain. You can kind of see this right here on the potential here of Bitcoin moving into the blockchain. If you look further into their what's next. This is the roadmap. I want to just showcase a couple of things right here. And this is Bitcoin wallet integration. These are the Muses upgrade happening now. And that means a lot because it could mean quite a bit of Bitcoin now looking for a new home. And that means an opportunity of really seeing the network itself start to explode. This is a good example right here. Let me go to all time right here. You can kind of see the growth in total value that is potentially accessible here now through what Apollo is going to be doing. Let me go to a clip real quick because this will get into some of the details of how this works. Let's take a look.
Open coinmarketcap.com, right, and look at like the #1 spot, and there's like $1 trillion of liquidity sitting right there doing not very much. Yeah, like certainly, right, compared to a centralized exchange, right? Like if a centralized exchange just like took your funds, you'd be screwed, right? In this situation, right, the worst case scenario, you get a 10% arbitrage, right?
Yeah.
So you make money, right?
Yeah.
If you consider like trying to bridge to like another Bitcoin L2, like the problem that they come up against is like they're all starting from scratch, right? Solana already has an extremely mature DeFi ecosystem, right? So if you have Bitcoin on Solana, like we just like plug it into, you know, like Solend or Camino or Jupiter or whatever, right? Like all of this infrastructure already exists, liquidity already exists, right? We're down to a very low subsidy at this point, and miners are actually really interested in this idea of staking, restaking, lending, whatever with their Bitcoin, because they need to find other like new ways to remain profitable. It's one of the only chains, maybe the only, maybe like one of like 2 or 3 that could actually implement all of these Bitcoin primitives and actually like capture all of that value and actually be able to like process it.
So this means that we could see a literal liquidity wall coming into Solana. All right, so one of the things that you have to consider is the pathway. And of course, this of course is Zeus network. You've heard us talk about this on the show before. The Meet the Muses wallet. So this is getting ready to roll out and it's moving quickly. And again, this is going to be allowing Bitcoin asset management on Solana, allowing Bitcoin into the fold as a ZPL asset. All this coming in, if you look at some of the tweets right here, Muses will soon be available for public testing. So this is a big push trying to get into what I think will be a massive amount of liquidity as Bitcoin starts to make a big move here. So we'll see how this plays out in the markets. So speaking of other alternatives out here, this of course is the original Saga, and this has already earned over $2,300 in terms of just airdrops. So if you look at just what's been going through, this is version 1 of the Solana Saga phone. Everybody kind of knows that this has been one of the biggest opportunities out there. Also, if you look at chapter 2, here, of course, is now where we are already on chapter 2. And again, this one's already paid for the phone itself. So a lot of movement here within what I think will be kind of maybe next generation wallets. Who knows how this is going to play out, but there's a lot of things within the Solana ecosystem that is so aggressive in terms of opportunity and growth. All right, so if you think about what wallets might look like, well, one that has already started to release, which is kind of weird because you've got the Ledger Flex now coming out in lieu of the stacks. I'm not sure because I haven't seen the stacks yet. I ordered one of these, pre-ordered one of these years ago, yet to be released. But I'm just kind of curious, why would a Bitcoin holder go this direction versus just a Saga phone, you know, that would have the ability to have these dApps on it and be able to function as a liquidity provider within these apps. So that's where it will get kind of interesting. The other thing that you have to consider is just the amount of projects that are really excelling on Solana. Here's the Helium Mobile right here. Look at this growth period of time right now. These are hotspots and signups deployed, over 100,000. I have a feeling that this is just the beginning. The other thing that plays into Solana's bag are NFTs. And of course, if you look at the largest NFT drop coming, right now, Star Atlas is planning to drop 2.5 million in terms of crew members. This will be one of the biggest ones that has been out there. And things to consider when you look at this, along with kind of this, I won't say renaissance, but maybe this could get us into a position where gaming starts to come back within crypto. And maybe it takes some of the AI buzz, maybe not. But of course, Star Atlas kind of leading the way right there. All right, so let's take a quick look at the charts right now. BNB has been slightly on the climb here, even though a little bit sideways over the last little bit, trading at around 576. You look at Solana, this is the move that we've been experiencing over the last 2 weeks, which has been a pretty nice move. What have we seen here since this bottom? just as we're going to the top of the candles right there at around 46%. A nice move here up from around 130. So for you Solana holders out there, kudos to you. Nice moves, definitely. And I think this is just the beginning as we start to see a new order block starting to get pierced right there at the top. The other thing that you can kind of indicate right here is just the sentiment has been very powerful. This comes to us with our MSI 2.0 trading tool that's available. So you guys, if you want to learn more about it, click the diamond circle down below. You'll find out some stuff there. Zeus is the other one I want to watch. Let me kind of zip down here to the bottom, take a look at Zeus. A little bit of sideways action, but up slightly, you know, from this bottom, which was trading at about 14 cents. Not a bad move, though, overall, when you look at where the potential is for this one at about 76% of a move. So again, a lot of opportunity here for Solana, and I think as we start to see this crack 200, which I think it will be doing soon, that I think is going to be just the beginning of where we see Solana go. If you guys are not subscribers to the channel, make sure and jump in right now. Become part of our Diamond Circle. It's a great place to get additional content. I do a bunch of additional videos over there and all sorts of additional content. So just click the link down below. And also follow me out there on X at Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.